And good evening from the capital of the state of Illinois. That's Springfield. And the home of the Senators. It's time for Quincy High Blue Devil basketball, non-conference style. And good evening, I'm Jeff Wellman as we get ready for the last ball game before the holidays and getting ready to go to Collinsville. The Blue Devils come in here to the home of the Senators. They are 10-0, 4-0 in the conference. This will wrap up the end of the year, and then, of course, we go into a very tough Collinsville tournament where we'll play Oakville. Devils won the battle, or the crosstown battle, last Saturday night, 77-47. That is right, 77-47. We got a different score as they changed the scoreboard right at the end, and so a couple ones said 75-49.
That's what I was thinking.
Indeed. Camden Brown had 18 points in that game. Bradley Loncourt Jr., no, it was the third. He had 15 points. And that was after Friday night, the East Moline victory on the road, 50-34, where they went 9-0 and got their fourth victory. In that game, Keyshawn Thomas had 19, Brown had 9, and Dominique Clay had 8 in the ball game. The Springfield Senators, they come in here at 3-8 and averaging about 50 points a game, giving up about 50, actually more closer to 51 on both of those numbers. But they have won 3 out of the last 4, and the game right before that was a close loss to Lanfair. So they're playing their basketball, best basketball right now. Of course, last year on January 7th, after the holidays, it was the Blue Devils and the Senators at Blue Devil Gymnasium. In that ball game, the Senators led after one, 14-10. Devils took it over at half 30-23. Third quarter was 47-26, and the Devils went on to win 66-43. Brown had 13, Ralph Wires had 12, and Thomas had 10. On the other side for the Senators, it was Brandon Robinson and Carlos Day with 11 and 9 respectively. Both those players are not back. But one guy who is back here, right to my right, Coach Dave Pettit, and Coach tonight should be a good one because the Devils last game before the holidays, and they want to get fired up and go in undefeated before they get past Christmas and to Collinsville.
Well, this is one of those games to where, you know, you're coming in with a 3-8 Springfield team. Obviously, they've won 3 of their last 4. You know, and they played Jacksonville to a pretty close game. And Jacksonville, I think a couple games before that, beat Lincoln. So they're playing very well right now. So this is one of those games where the Blue Devils are going to have to come out, you know, set the tone on the defensive end like they've done so far this year. And, you know, deflections, turnovers turn into easy baskets, and that's what they're going to need to do tonight.
Well, Coach, we talked to Coach Douglas in the postgame show last Saturday, and one thing we noticed in the Notre Dame game is the defensive intensity was there, but it was cranked up more. And when they went into, you know, a possible double team or a trap or any type of, you know, situation where 2 players were going to be involved, it was a lot more aggressive than it had been all year long.
Well, yeah, and I think, you know, their active hands, their deflections, you know, one thing I think they need to do a better job of is to, you know, challenge the three-point shooters. I thought Notre Dame had a lot. They gave up 7 3-pointers, I believe, to Notre Dame, and that's way too many for, you know, a team of, you know, 6'4", 6'5", you know, athletic kids to get out there and guard. So I think they got to do a better job with that. But as far as their defensive pressure, their deflections, you know, turning that into easy baskets, that's been their best offense this year.
Well, and one thing that countered that, you know, the Raiders came out hitting their threes, and, you know, Aiden Gittemacher didn't get one, and he had hit in 5 the other night. He's a heck of a shooter, and his shots were online. But then Quincy High hit 13. We quoted 10 unofficially at the end of the game. We looked back there, 13. So if you're going to counter a 7 3-point night against you, 13 would be doubling them up. That would be a pretty good way to do it.
Well, and to be honest with you, Coach Douglas has raised the bar, you know, with this team, you know, understandably. Being ranked 3rd in the state, they're getting a lot of looks, you know, as far as, and if they go down to Collinsville, and God, it's going to be a tough road to hoe down there, because, I mean, you're going to have, you know, either Mundelein or somebody, I forget, Mundelein or Althoff after the first game, you know, and then the second game, you're probably looking at a rematch of, I believe, Decatur MacArthur, and they're as good as they were last year. So that's going to be a fun time down in Collinsville.
Well, you're always going to have your tournaments, whether they're Thanksgiving tournament or your Christmas tournament, and your Christmas ones are very good out there. That's the mid-season, not quite the mid-season yet, but that's going to get you into January and February and get you rolling out there.
Well, you go to Christmas, and then, you know, after that, then you start looking at the the Quincy shootout over Martin Luther King weekend. And those Martin Luther King shootouts that are out there, and then you start gearing it up, the end of the conference seasons for most people, and then you're looking at regional and sectional.
Well, Coach, you talked about the team that we're going to play down there, Cardinal Ritter, at the Highland Shootout at noon. They went, well, let me back up a little bit here first. After the victory the other night in Chaminade, we played Webster Groves. Webster Groves, very good ball team. They got a good freshman there that I believe has already been offered a job or offered a scholarship at Illinois.
Well, a job now.
It is a job, right, at Illinois or Missouri, and they haven't even seen him play. And so, of course, they've been tracking him on this. But Webster Groves went up to Chicago Mount Carmel, the #1 team in 3A, and beat them. So you know how good Webster Groves is. And so the Devils, that kind of is a mark right there. They're 2 non-conference games. Of course, tonight against the Senators, they're coming out on a road game. And so far this year, we have seen the black uniforms come out, and that was a neutral game down against Chaminade. Yep. So they showed it's not the jerseys that can make you lose. They beat the #1 team in St. Louis. I thought they would only keep these for the neutral games or a tournament game, but they're breaking them out a little. I guess break them out, win on the road with them. That way you don't have anybody complaining about them. And you know what? It's how you play, not how you look. And there is enough blue in those uniforms, not for all you Blue Devil fans, but there's enough blue to know it's the Blue Devils.
I kind of like it, but, that's me.
I do too, but again, if I will go with the traditionalists.
The traditionalists do not like it.
You got it. Well, and I will say, if they say, I agree with what they're saying, but you're all going to be a Blue Devil. Hey, by the way, speaking of Blue Devil fans, Tim Tappy shot us a message, wanted to know who was covering the games, and of course he said, I know you guys are covering a few. We are covering more than a few. We're 24, 25 games plus for the Blue Devils this year. We are the only ones that are covering the Quincy Blue Devil girls, and so you'll catch us out there if we can ever get out of that gym, and we will be there. And then, of course, we're also, across town as we were the other night at the pit, not only for the game last night for the girls, as it was a close one with Central Southeastern. We expected that to be a close one from the beginning, and it wasn't. Notre Dame got a big lead, and next thing you know, Matt Long ratcheted it up, second half, and it became a 2-point game down the stretch.
Well, it was a tale of 2 halves last night at the pit with 2 very, very good girls teams.
Boy, I can't wait for here. We got the cheerleaders on the other side. Of course, the black and red for the Senators here in our state capital. Capital is just to our east. And as I mentioned the other night while we were waiting, I understood how I got into a conversation about my daughter, and I figured that out. And the only reason I figured that out, because we had a half hour while we were waiting to be the 4th in line for Coach Meyer and Coach Douglas, and once we got them, so, but she was just a couple blocks here to our left. That's where the football stadium is, just to the west. They did a real nice job. They do have a new basketball gym going in for the Senators here in Springfield. It's going to our east, where I just talked about, towards the Capitol. They said it should be ready. Well, Lanphier was supposed to be ready last year, and it will be ready next year on that. So it should be ready within this year, but I said, well, guess what? I guess when we come back in 2 years for the road game, it'll be ready. So kind of reminds me of ISU when they had Horton Fieldhouse, and of course that's where Doug Collins played, and also Susan Wellman, but they had that, and they turned around and said, Susan, when we get you in here, you'll play on that court. She came in as a freshman. She played 2 years after she graduated in an alumni game. Well, Coach, we talked about the defense and telling what the Devils have to do. Offensively, we had a little bit of a struggle the other night. Didn't score until late in the ball game to get up to 50. What's the mindset by Coach? And of course, your comments and coaches were brought to you by Quincy Honda, which is also Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai. I keep dating myself there. They talked about getting rid of the Kunis country, but you know what? It's catchy and it's still in my head, and of course it's also still up there in Macomb and Monmouth. And we are going to stand up for the national anthem.
Welcome to Springfield High School and Louisville Gymnasium for tonight's matchup between the Blue Devils of Quincy High School and the Senators.
Hope you enjoy the video tonight as well as the audio.
Everyone now please rise, move your hat and wearing one, and face the flag for the playing our national anthem.
As we wait for the Actually, they pulled a plug on the scoreboard. I wondered about that because I looked here as you were trying to get your headsets together and pulling. I couldn't hear for a minute. I thought maybe we lost power too.
Somebody probably just kicked the cord underneath the
there you
scoreboard.
go. It still works that way, folks.
I've done that before.
And there's the lights back on the board. Springfield Senators are at half court. Let's get the tape player back up. Scoreboard comes back up. Time to enter all the numbers again and the starters. Somebody over on the sides hit a switch that thought was the lights for the restroom and shut the whole power off in the building. Good stuff. By the way, Jeff Wellman, Dave Pettit here as we're broadcasting from Springfield, from the Senators Gymnasium. Quincy High Blue Devil basketball against the Springfield Senators. Devils come in 10-0 undefeated, and the Springfield Senators are 3-8, but playing some good basketball as we've talked about in our pregame show. They lost power here, but you'll never lose power if you go out and buy a nice Honda or Hyundai from Cunis. Get in there tomorrow.
Here we go again. Please remain standing for
And here comes the national anthem, folks. And that was our national anthem. And it sounded like it was by the high school band, but it was canned. So we get ready for tonight's matchup. The Devils will be the first lineups for the visitors, wearing their neutral black trimmed in white and blue. We'll start off our guard, Ralph Wires. Ralph wears number 3. He's 5'10". Camden Brown wears number 4. He's a senior. He's 6'5". Tyler Sprick, number 10, 6'3" senior. Bradley Longcore the third, number 12, 6'4" junior. And rounding out the starting lineup in the middle, the big man, number 42, Keyshawn Thomas, 6'6" junior. And for the Devils coaching, head coach Andy Douglas, Bruce Bonas, Ryan Brown, and Tom Lepper. On the other side, here comes Jason Myers. Halloween is already over. Michael Myers, Jason Myers, all the spooky people. Bring me Jamie Lee Curtis, wearing their home white trimmed in black and red. This will be fun tonight watching the numbers. Number 4, Brody Scheffler, 6'1" sophomore. Your second starter, number 11, Jaden Wilson, 6'3" junior guard.
6'4", senior, number 2, Kevin Cruz.
Took a while to get him up there, number 2. And he also, 4 or 5 of the guys had 2 or 3 numbers that they gave us. So number 2 is Kevin Cruz, junior. He's a 6'4" senior. As it gets dangerous in here, number 31. Coach, you got a 31 on your lineup?
Noah Wade, number 31.
There you go. Thank you. 6'3" freshman. We had another Wade, Elijah Wade, entered there later in the ball game. We erased somebody on there. And the last man, number 15, Paul Hartman. He is a 6'6" junior. So they got a couple height in there, 6'6", 6'4", but so do we match up well. Marquise Warfield is your coach, and we are ready to go. Devils are going to work right to left, but they're really working into your living room here, as you can see. Senators working the opposite way. Camden Brown in the center circle. Ball is tipped over to the sideline. Keyshawn Thomas tracks it down for the Devils. They'll bring it into your living room. Glad you're with us on meccasportsco.com. Jeff Wellman, Dave Pettit. All the Blue Devil action is the rest of the way in town. Longcore into the left corner. Camden Brown bounces into the short corner right in front of us. That was to Thomas. Goes opposite side. Three-pointer no good, just shy. Bradley Longcore, the third.
That was one of my early keys for the game, is making sure we're getting post touches, you know, and working inside out, you know, to get the open looks at the three-point line.
Ball goes into the high post. Tell you what, with these numbers all over the place, it's going to take me a little while. Hartman is number 15. I'll watch for him. Ball goes inside on the block. Acrobatic shot, rolls in, rolls out. Shot was missed there by Kevin Cruz Jr., rebounded by Thomas for the Devils.
Strong rebound by Keyshawn.
Good job by Sprick. Sprick went for a pass, and he looked like he was going to pass it out, faked it, had an open three, missed it, rebounded by Keyshawn, and he had the shot blocked. Here's Tyler Sprick with a steal, though, in the backcourt. Devils get it again. We played a minute.
Good transition defense by the Devils on that possession.
Out high, going to the right side is BL3, gives it off to Wires. Wires keeps it on the right side, picked his dribble up a little soon. Sprick comes to help him. He was bumped, and they call over and back. He was bumped, and that's why he lost the handle on the ball, but then they still call over and back.
I thought it was deflected, to be honest with you.
Either way on that combination, you thought the Devils should have got the ball back.
Well, you know, if it's deflected, then, you know, it starts all over again.
Senators have the basketball back to the top of the key. That's Wilson. Wilson right side to the 45. Ball comes back out. That was Scheffler with it. Lost the handle on the ball. It goes back to the Senators at half court. Tuesday before Christmas. Next week it's already over, but the tournaments start the next day.
And Blue Devils are starting out in their man-to-man tonight.
Good job on D, but it gets dropped down low in the first 2 points of the ball game. We'll go to the Senators. Kevin Cruz Jr. 2 minutes into the ball game. Devils with the basketball in the half-court set. Left side, Wires goes over to the right block. Faking and going inside is Camden Brown. Misses the shot. Got a good look and got back to the 45. Used the glass too.
We've had a couple of good looks.
In transition, back. Kicked over to the left side. I keep losing 31 all night, Coach. It's going to be one of those that'll drive me nuts.
Noah Wade.
Yes. I'm going to stick him on my forehead. Shot no good. Rebounded by the Devils. Longcore. Boy. Just to the outstretched hands of Wires. He couldn't have got any higher. But when he tried to bring it down, it hit the sideline. So a turnover there is still 2-0. Senators, 5:32, and Devils are going to pick up. Longcore picking up full court. He's taking Jalen Wade. Wilson, excuse me. Ball went to the right side. A lot of walking on that one. Back to the top of the key. That's Jaden Wilson. Wilson with Longcore on him. Pushes to the left side. Noah Wade. Anytime I'm not sure, Noah Wade has the ball. Wilson drives in. There was help there. Oh, he threw the ball up off the glass with help. Wilson hits the basket, and it's 4-0.
Springfield's being very, very patient on the offensive end and making the Blue Devils guard.
Trap right in front of the bench. Actually, it was 3 guys trapping. Ball goes into Thomas. Thomas, he got it to Brown. 3 passes, all within 3 or 4 feet of the basket. Shot by Sprick was no good.
Another point-blank shot missed by the Blue Devils.
Over there on the double team right in front of the bench, Coach kind of sealed in as a third person on that trap.
Yep.
Ball comes back out to the top. That's Kevin Cruz. Works to the right side. Hartman gave the ball up. Shot from the right side, no good. Fighting for the rebound. And it will go Devils' way. Ralph Wires wasn't sure. We had one of the Senators over there. That was Noah Wade. He got a hand on it and looked briefly like maybe the Devils touched it last.
That Noah Wade's he's a good-looking freshman. 6'3", you know, very athletic, very long.
Wires across the timeline to the right side. Thomas came up to get it, gave it right back to Wires. Ralph brings it to the left side. BL3 for 21. Just off the iron to the weak side. With the rebound on the weak side was Noah Wade. Shot now. Oh, and the three-pointer by Scheffler. And it's 7-0. And Andy Douglas wants to talk about it as Scheffler hits that three-pointer from the right side. Devils find themselves down early in this one. And it really hasn't been an overwhelming offensive threat on it. That three was caught on the left side. It was a pretty good shot from distance.
I mean, we've had some good looks. You know what I mean? From, going in, we've had like 3 wide open 3 looks, a couple offensive rebounds, with point blank, putbacks that we haven't hit. We've just got a lid on the basket now, so we got to find a way to, let's run a set, get a good look going to the hole, hard and get to the free throw line.
I see a ladder at the other end leaning up against the wall. We can always get up there and take that off, and we'll be good to go. Cameron Wires comes in on the timeout. Don Clay and Mark Louthan. Staying in the game is Brown and BL3, and I saw that one coming. Brown set a screen at the top of the key, and the Senator went around him. He stuck his knee and his leg out, pretty well just tried to bring him in. So Camden, his first foul of the ball game. Devils first, and the first for either team.
It looks like we're in our ball plus 1-2-2 here.
Cameron Wires at the point. Loncourt and Clay at midcourt. Deep is Brown and Louthan. Across the timeline. Wilson takes it down. He goes inside. Shot by Cruz. No good. Guys flying every which way, but with the rebound, Don Clay. Outlet. BL3 passes on the wing. Goes all the way in for the finger roll. And the finger roll comes off the glass and off the rim. That was a nice move, too. He took his time. Can't get the ball to go. Shot from the side. From the left side, no good. That was our sub, just came in. Number 1, Seth Impson, rebounded from the Devils. From the left, no good on the 3. Louthan with a big, strong rebound. Louthan was going down to the floor. Ooh. Wow. If they don't have a jump ball, which they both had a hold of the ball, Louthan was falling down but let go of it before he ever hit the floor. I think the right out is jump ball, not, but where are we at? We're at the nation's capital.
I don't see any blue on the floor.
Did you see JP tonight? Is he our governor here tonight? Devils will drop back into the 1-2-2 3-quarter court. Wire still at the point with Loncourt and Clay. Brown and Louthan deep. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Devils are down 7-0. They drop it down to the block. Sub in the ballgame. Shot. Bounces around the rim. Goes in. Valor Kamalafi. And it's 9-0. A place that the Devils don't find themselves in much. Clay driving the baseline. Up, under. Dishes it back out. Now Clay gets it in the right corner. Kicks it back out to the top. BL3. Good from 3. BL3 takes the lid off the basket for the Devils. And the Devils jump back into the full court pressure.
Hate to say it, but I think they needed that one.
There is no doubt about that. 9-3, 2:25 is when the first score for the Devils in the quarter.
I know we're very early, but, if they wouldn't have scored there and, Springfield comes out, hits 3, and it's 12-0.
You start getting some stretch in there.
Yep.
Brody Scheffler came back into the ball game. Noah Wade went out for the Senators. Impson drives to the hole. Oh, Wires look like he did a nice job of knocking the ball away, and it was going to be Senators' ball, but they'll call a 2-shot foul. So for Cameron Wires, it's his first. The Blue Devils' second. Seth Impson at the line, shooting 2.
A very late call by the official on that one because he got beat, but they called the reach in.
Impson misses the first. He'll have one more. 2:13 left, first quarter action. Glad to be with us on mechasportsco.com. Yeah, interesting start with 9 quick points. Impson hits the second point. Free throw, excuse me. He gets a point. 10-3. Devils with the basketball. Cameron Wires goes right side. It comes right back to him at the top. Cameron trying to dribble through everybody. 3 guys there. Got to get out of that traffic in the paint. Gets it out to Don Clay. Everything goes back to the top. BL3 to set the offense. Brings it down the lane, brings it up. Oh, and a beautiful move, floats off to the left and uses his left.
Well, and that's what I think they need to do a little bit more of against this Springfield defense, is to run the pick and roll, because that was a fake pick and roll, and then he got by and it was an easy layup.
There's a steal on the right side by Camden Brown. And they call him for overlapping. I thought maybe he stepped on the line on the sideline from the table. Either way, Coach Warfield wants to talk about it to the Senators. And don't forget,
by Springfield.
when you're watching this, and if you enjoy watching this, make sure you're on our website. You check things out and go to YouTube. Hit subscribe, hit like on Facebook, ring the bell, and follow us. Make sure that you don't miss a game. Again, I might even miss a game. We got them every night if I didn't have somebody reminding me. Haven't figured out who does that. What day is it now, Coach?
Tuesday, I believe.
Wednesday off, and then Thursday we'll be up in Payson, or I'll be up in Payson as the QND Raiders travel to Payson. I'll be sitting on the stage.
And then we're going to meet up the 27th in Bloomington, Illinois for a couple of
Good games. Quincy High girls game and the Notre Dame boys all late night on that night. And then we head down to Collinsville to pick up the doubleheader on day 2 of the Collinsville tournament. We're back to action. The Senators have the basketball. Oh, a little back end there. He dropped and then he hit the shot. That was interesting. There was no charge or anything, but he fell, and then Jaden Wilson hit the deuce from outside.
Nice little free throw line jumper.
He's got 4 tonight. 12-5. Lead by the Senators. Good drive inside. Oh, and a great move when Louthan got the ball from the right block, took it to the left, and with the left for the reverse layup.
Great pass by BL3.
For Louthan, his first bucket, actually first bucket by anybody but BL3. Traveling call in the corner, right in front of the Blue Devil bench as Devils picked up the pressure on that last stanza. Costanza. That's all I can think of.
Where's George at?
Can't stand you. 58.9 left in the first. Senators 12-7. Devils have the basketball. Cameron Wires brings it across. Right side to BL3, directing traffic.
Let's do a pick and roll here.
He's got Wilson on him. Brings it in. There's a pick and roll right there with Louthan. The ball bounced around, and Clay got it. Clay with strong move there. He had 2 guys on him, on his arm, when he made that shot. Nice job there, Dom. Dom breaks in the scoring column. Devils go 3-quarter court. Boy, I thought that was a great job on defense there.
Good seal off.
Oh, Noah Wade with the basket. Long pass, and the shot is blocked on Louthan. Wade on the last one was a good shot. Ball hits the floor, and we got a jump ball, I hope, on that one. Oh, we got a guy from the Senators jumping up, pushing right off the bat. Wilson was on the bottom, or on somebody, and started pushing.
Jump ball, possession, Springfield.
Getting a little feisty here
Indeed
at Senator Gymnasium.
19.3 seconds left in the first quarter. Devils are down 14-9. Had some good looks there. Dom Clay on that last move was just fantastic here. He had the double pump, and he was getting pretty well fouled by 2 guys.
Yeah, he had 2 dudes hanging on him, that's for sure.
Seth Impson with the basketball, setting it to the right side. Cameron Wires on him. BL3, great job there. Oh, I thought that hit the Senator's foot. Didn't it look like it? BL3 got in there and slapped. Bradley didn't say anything about it, so I'm assuming it did not. The 2 number 4s out there, that's Camden, of course, for the Blue Devils. Shot from the right side, no good, airballed. Senators got it though, and thank goodness before they had another shot for a 3, the buzzer went off. We have played 8 minutes here in Springfield. It's the Springfield Senators 14, the Quincy High Blue Devils 9. You're listening to Blue Devil Basketball on MeccaSportsCo.com.
Sounds kind of familiar as what was the score at Quincy High School last year? 14-10, the Senators after 1, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, we'll pull that page back up here. It was 14-10.
14-10.
Senators led, now it's 14-9. So then the Devils last year outscored them 20-9. So they picked up 11 points there. Outscored, they got it up to a 21-point game in the third quarter. And won by 23 total. So while it's the same look as last year, we really don't like to be that way in the first quarter.
Well, I tell you what, looking at the Springfield team, with the Jaden Wilson at 6'3", very long and athletic. Number 2, Cruz, he's 6'4", athletic and long. Scheffler's a good-looking sophomore, and this Noah Wade, 6'3" freshman. He's got some hops and some length. This is a nice-looking Springfield team, and like I say, they've been playing their best basketball last 4 or 5 games. So this is a team on the move.
Starting the second quarter off, the Blue Devils will have the basketball. Cameron Wires along with BL3, Dom Clay, Camden Brown, and Mark Louthan. Pass went inside from Brown to Louthan. It came off of Louthan and came right back to Brown. Ball goes out to Hop. Kicked over to the left corner. Dom Clay, no good, short of the three. Mark Louthan with a great rebound save going out of bounds. He got it to Dom Clay. Devils will have another run.
Good patience by the Blue Devils, bringing it back out. Dom
Clay takes the shot again, just misses. Dom's about 6 inches or to a foot too far out where he's at right there. He's about at 22, 23. Just needs to slide in just a little bit more. He can hit that shot, just a higher percentage. Seth Impson with the basketball for the Senators. BL3 was working against him. Impson went down. They're going to call BL3 with a push. His first foul. First foul of the second quarter. Got to remember we're in a new quarter now. That's the only thing with that rule that's kind of thrown me a little bit was remembering to go from one quarter to the other. We get to 5 fouls or a quarter, and you go back to 0. 7 minutes left till half. Ibsen working on a high screen with Hartman on him. A second roller from the opposite side. It looked like the old, we ran it, and so did Leggett and you guys, that double high post. Louthan went in, got stopped. Ball went up, back over to the right side. 3, BL3.
Once again, Cameron Wires made the good pass, the good decision to get it and make a quick pass instead of dribbling it over to the corner for the wide open look.
And I think Coach said over there, Warfield said something to BL3. He said something back, both in jest and having a little fun with each other. Senators, Noah Wade came in with a shot, just a little, kind of a little right-hand short hook. Got to find Noah in my book here. Elijah did not score in the first quarter.
That looks like Springfield's in a 2-3 zone.
Devils inside, those 6-footer right in front of the basket, no good. Other side, 3-point shot from the left side, no good. Sorry, I was written down my notes in my book. BL3 with the basketball, right side. Dom, 4 on the perimeter. Louthan's on the low block. BL3 from 23, left side, good! BL3 lighten up. He's got 3 threes, 11 points in this ball game. Devils take their first lead, 15. Well, forgot about the basket there a minute ago. They're down 16-15. They won't let me do that and take points off the board for the Senators. Drive inside, shot just over the iron is good. That was Kevin Cruz Jr. I tell you, the Senators do a good job of taking the ball to the hole. And here a steal. Cruz right in front of us in your living room. 5:20 left in the first half. Devils are down by 3. Thought they had that one lead and had that opportunity. Dom Clay trying to chase Wade. Wade with another one of those runners. Louthan gets the rebound for the Blue Devils. Skipped all the way down. Camden Brown starts to drive baseline on the left. He'll bring it back out. Cameron Wires will fire a 3 though. Rattles around. Only one Devil on the board. We've got 3 waiting to come back in. Senators got 2 over by the scoring table as well. Right side, good defense there. Wade could not get the shot off. Dom Clay was in his face.
Nice challenge by Dom.
Into the right corner. Camden Brown sets for 3. Rolls in, rolls out. Just had his 1 foot moving just a little bit. That ball just moved that much out of the rim. Ibsen for Springfield. Noah Wade right back out to the top of the key. Ibsen works left side behind a screen. He takes a 3 and it rolls in. Sets himself up behind. He hits his first bucket of the night, and it's a tray.
Blue Devils got it down by 1. Now Springfield pushed it back out again.
21-15. 20-15, excuse me. Did not get a 3 on that one. Inside, Brown will go to the free throw line. Wires with a good wraparound pass. Camden going to shoot some free throws.
Are these our first free throws of the night?
They are. With 4:07 left in the first half.
Need to take the ball to the hole hard, guys.
Foul was called on Elijah Wade. His first. Referee's talking to BL3 there. Probably had a question. And that was the first of the Senators in the second quarter. Brown connects on the first. And that's Camden's first points of the night. Breaks that little 5-point run that the Senators put out there. Valor Kamalafe comes back in the game, number 20. Devils have Thomas coming back in, as well as Ralph Wires. We had a third over there. I'll check it for you in a second.
Sprick will be coming in for Brown.
That's what it is, because he's still sitting over there. Brown gets both free throws. Good free throw shooter. Him and Keyshawn are shooting a lot of free throws, and Brown, I think, is leading the team in percentage and getting to the line.
I'm going to tell you what, the Blue Devils are a very, very good free throw shooting team overall, to where, you know, if you got a 4-point lead, you pull it out, you shoot layups or free throws.
Senators have the basketball. I haven't seen who 25 was, and so I'm going to have to catch him out as he takes a nice shot and misses. Rebounded BL3. And it's going the other way as Thomas went down. Our mystery man, number 25. See, when you start making marks all over your page, there it is, Jaden Jefferson. Jefferson
Is
will
that
be whistled.
that other Wade that he was talking about?
He is in there too. He's number 12. Yes.
Okay.
Luckily, we got 31 in our head since he's done so much early in the ball game. Devils with the basketball inside 4 minutes in the first half. Short corner, nice job there. Dropped it off to Sprick when he dropped down. Sprick gets the basket. Keyshawn Thomas with the assist.
Very simple, well-executed play by the Blue Devils.
Just a little drop-down pass as he had it over the defense.
Short corner and then drop down from the elbow.
And there's a travel, another one of those trips that, and that was incidental. Don Clay was cutting through. Devils will get it back, down 20-19. 3:25 left, first half action. Jeff Wellman, Dave Pettit, Springfield, Illinois. Might be a Freddy's night, little patty melt. Works to the left side, Dom Clay into the left corner. Bradley, little spin move. Bradley gets smacked a couple times. Good defense though. To Dom Clay, still on the left side. Keyshawn's trying to set a back screen. Ball goes over to the right, now back to the top. Left, Dom through the legs. Back to Wires. Now we go to the high post to Sprick. Sprick faces up. They go down, it's a mismatch. Thomas, but help came from the other side. And then after the block shot, it rolled off. Now, I don't know that I'd face him off because Keyshawn's going to come down. He's still got 250 of this half and a whole nother half. It was a nice block shot. And that was the other Wade, Elijah Wade, number 12. And he's got a face plate on too. And they just looked at each other and he couldn't outfigure him. At that time, I guess you either just go real strong and jump at him or end up passing the ball and kicking it back out. But when you're a foot from the basket.
Well, Keyshawn faked out the first guy, and then he was the second guy come in that blocked it.
Long three-pointer, no good. Wires gets the rebound on the block.
That was a battle.
That was Jaden Wilson with that, firing from outside. Picked it up real soon. Had to kick it out to the right. Behind the three. Good! Bradley Longcore fires another three-pointer just off the right.
He's definitely heated up here in the second quarter.
7 straight points by the Devils, now with a lead, 22-20. Devils with a steal, Dom Clay. On the right side of the court, trailer, Bradley Longcore from 22. No good. Keyshawn fights with 4 Senators, and it will be Blue Devil basketball. Keyshawn was the only one down there.
Well, Keyshawn needs a little bit of help down there, you know, whether it be Sprick. Last couple of games, Camden Brown's been down there battling on the offensive glass too, so those are easy baskets if you can get the rebounds.
Noah Wade called on the foul. His first, team's third it should be. And I thought they might have called a technical foul on Keyshawn or somebody. And I thought, that's why Ralph Wires was out there and he went over to talk to the official, but don't put your hands on the official. He went behind to talk to him. You don't put your hands out there.
No.
Double technical foul also assessed to Springfield.
I've seen the official that's talking to Keyshawn before. I've seen him work a lot of games, including college over in Quincy. Does a pretty good job. I do not have the names of the officials, but we would only do those just for the goodness.
Goodness of our heart.
Yeah. We're not complaining about any calls at all. They're great basketball games so far. 2:08 left in the first half. Sprick's going to trigger it in. Right in front of us. Ralph Wires will send it out high. BL3 to the right side. Dom Clay, good from 3 on the right side.
Good extra pass by BL3.
Dom's first 3, he's got 5. Devils up 25-20. They drop into the 1-2-2, three-quarter court. Ralph Wires with Longcore and Dom Clay. And here's back Keyshawn with a steal. Keyshawn goes in, saves the ball. Oh, and a great save. And the ball bounced out on the third bounce. It was a great move by Keyshawn. And then he saved the ball into Wires. Wires with it to, and it rolled just off the back of the iron.
That's got to be what, layup number 6 that we haven't been able to get down. And these are, I don't want to say bunnies, but 3 to 4 footers around the basket, and they're not getting fouled and they're not going in.
Wade for his 3rd foul and the 5th foul for the team. So why aren't we shooting? I guess they were on offense. We'll go with it. No, they were on defense. Thomas in the left corner, being double teamed, skips out to Loncourt. Loncourt starts to drive, the floater, good. Bradley just uses that touch. When he gets close and just touches it up, it's just so sweet.
Well, and that's one thing that he's added to his game. Last year, everything's to the basket. Now he's pulling up for that little 10-footer or hesitating, then going in with the long finger roll.
He did that way back in 3rd and 4th grade, 3rd grade too. After he got knocked down by the girl that was guarding the basket. Foul went on Ralph Wires for the Devils. His first, 2nd team foul. Check that now. It's up to 30 on the Devils for the 2nd quarter. 5 for the Springfield Senators. 1:15 left in the first half. Devils lead 27-20. Senators with the basketball.
Well, we're on about, 12-point run, I believe? Because it was 20-15, now we're up 27-20, so we're on a 12-point run in the last probably 2.5 minutes.
Kevin Drews got fouled driving to the basket. That is exactly right, Coach, from 15 to 27. We are the math men. Foul was called on Keyshawn. For Keyshawn, it's his 2nd. 3rd in the quarter, check that 4th. That's right, they had 3. I didn't have 3 yet. First free throw is no good by Cruz. He'll have 1 more. I thought I said 1:15, but now it's 1:07. There must have been 8 seconds in between the last buzzer. Tyler Sprick in that lineup now. So you go, Ralph Wires, Sprick, Clay, Loncourt, and Thomas. Second one is good. He's got 5 for the night. Broke that 12-point run by the Blue Devils. Devils on the left side. Sprick picked his dribble up. Gets now to Ralph Wires. In the high post now. Stepping out to screen is Dom Clay. Dom will go back to the top of the key between the circles.
We got to use those screens a little bit better because it works.
Ball works around to the left side. Right on the volleyball line. Bounced out to Loncourt. Loncourt thought about a shot. Ibsen had backed off. Clay has it now. We're looking at 1 shot here maybe. 35 seconds and counting left in the half.
1 shot unless they can get a good layup.
Right now some pressure out there on Wires. That's Cruz Jr. In the high post is Sprick setting the offense. Louthan now came in. He's on the low block. He came in for Thomas once Keyshawn got the 2nd foul. Inside 20 seconds. Wires had to pick it out into the right corner. Clay faked on the first guy, got it to Sprick. And then they call Sprick for traveling. Ball went into the right corner. Clay did a nice job of passing up the first one, let the guy fly by. The second opportunity, the defense was there, and he gave it up to Sprick. Devils lost the basketball. Inside 10 seconds, Ibsen at the timeline. He's got Clay on him, down to 5. Ball gets switched over to the left side. Drives, fires, shots at 3, just off the front of the iron, no good. That was Brody Scheffler for Springfield, and we played 16 minutes in Springfield. It's the Quincy High Blue Devils with the lead, 27-21 over the Springfield Senators. You're listening to Blue Devil Basketball on mechasportscode.com. Jeff Wellman and Dave Pettit out here at the Springfield Gymnasium. We talked about they're going to have a new one here pretty soon. $16. What do they got up there?
None.
Huh?
None. They can't keep up with it.
All right, will do. Mr. McCaffrey. And he's, of course, the band leader at Rochester. He handles the drums as well. His son and a group of his students, 5 kids. They're in a band called Unchained. And this summer they won the battle at Busch Stadium. 20-some bands. And they're doing a lot over here with the Curve End. They're coming to Quincy next year. I didn't know that. And but it's a good band. They went down to Nashville and cut an album this year. We should be seeing some stuff out of it. So if you're looking for something, especially if you're younger, a lot of energy. It's Unchained, just as it sounds. And they're from Rochester originally. noted for Springfield. So, Coach, 27-21. That is amazing. Is that the wrong side? Either side had nothing in that box. Okay, I see now. And it was like none. We were asked, and that's why I said 16 points on the air, what Bradley Loncourt had. And that's what I've got, 4 threes and 2 deuces. That's 4 times 3 plus 4. Follow me on that one. Hey, here's how the first half went. Springfield came out and defended their territory in the first quarter, scored 9 points before the Devils scored at the 2:25 mark of the first quarter, almost 6 minutes. When it was a 3-pointer by Bradley Loncourt III, a free throw on the other side. We'd trade a couple baskets out. Devils would get a couple more. We'd get to 9-2 or 12-9 down before the last bucket of the first quarter went for the Senators. And it was 14-9 Senators after one, as you heard Coach Pettit talk about last year at Blue Devil Gymnasium. It was 14-10 Senators after one. Second quarter started off, traded a couple baskets there. It was 20-15 again, 5-point lead by the Senators. That's when the Devils went on a 12-point run. They got up 27-20. And then one free throw came down a little later on. I almost had that free throw as it was the second of 2 by Cruz Jr. And that's how we ended the first half, up by 6. So we've got the 6-point lead. We picked the defense up while we were getting that 12 points, and we shot a little bit better during that stretch.
Well, yeah, I mean, hitting the threes and whatever, you look at this first half, the 3 words that come to my mind is finish, finish, finish. I mean, we had probably 6 layups that we missed, off offensive rebounds. We've shot 2 free throws in the first half. We're lucky that we're shooting pretty good from the 3-point line. But I would like to see us take the ball hard to the hole, start shooting some free throws. That's when we're more aggressive. Offensively, gosh, I'd run pick and roll till they couldn't guard it no more. I mean, we've probably executed the pick and roll maybe once or twice in the first half, and both times I think it was Bradley Loncourt using the screen, and then getting to the hole or getting to the basket or, getting in there and then making a pass. At the beginning of the game, I was like, at the beginning of the game, I'm like, we got to get the ball inside and then kick it back out. I think we got too many threes that were shooting off the dribble, with the hand in our face. To where if I think we drove it or we got it inside to the block and then kicked it out to the opposite side, I think we could step into those threes and have a much better look at them.
And they did later on in the quarter when Dom Clay did it a couple times, the fake the 3, let the guy get by. And I see what you're seeing, too, on the pick and roll, Coach. One of our problems, too, is, though, it seems like when they're getting 2 guys in an area, they're jamming it up a little bit there, and they're not even getting us a chance to get to the pick. They're jamming it up before, and then it's just a congregation of guys right there.
Well, yeah, not good spacing, by the Blue Devils in the first half to where, if you're going to run a high pick and roll with a flat screen out top, which I think it will be almost unguardable with Keyshawn and BL3. I mean, you put your shooters in the corners, and then maybe another one way out on the wing, and if the other guys come, you got very unselfish people out here that'll make the extra pass for the wide open 3.
And I have noticed that our shooters are setting up well. Dom has been doing a good job of setting up. Guys are setting up once our guys make the moves into the lane. Now, here's a stat for you. We're up 27-21 in the first half, and we've had this before, and we've had it with different players. We've got different guys who, if one guy's not scoring, somebody else is scoring. But how many times do we have Camden Brown, only getting 2 points, and that was on 2 for 2 free throws, and he was point blank. His were a few of them that rolled out. And Keyshawn Thomas, 0 points in the first half. Our 2 big guys, and we've only got 2 points and none of them are baskets.
Well, and you look at that. Well, look at a couple of games ago. At East Moline, BL3 ended up with 6 points that night. But yeah, it was a dominating performance even without him scoring. So this is one thing about this team. You've got 4 to 5 different scorers that any one night can put 20 on the board on you. So it's one of those things. They have a lot of different weapons. So if Springfield's going to take something away from them, something else should be open.
I would agree with you there, Coach. And like you mentioned, that game 2 games ago against East Moline, of course, Keyshawn had 19 points. And then we really balanced it out. We had Brown with 9. We had Clay with 8. You mentioned already, with 9 also with, I guess that was 5 with Ralph Wires, and only 6 with BL3. So you don't need certain guys to score all the time. It'd be nice if when we get an opportunity to be in the playing and the scoring to hit it. And there's been some good aggressive play in here. I will say this, offensive rebounding wise, in the positions of our shots, we've only had one man in the paint trying to rebound against at least 3 Senators. Now, we've pulled off a couple. Louthan did a nice job in there, and Thomas on a couple runs. But wherever our spacing is set from that shot, we're out wide, and we're not getting long rebounds.
And especially where, a lot of our three-pointers come from the corner shot. You know what I mean? So when, long rebound going off here, our weak side should be coming in, or, somebody should be coming in from the other corner and from the wing both and crashing the boards because, if we get those offensive rebounds, those are easy baskets and also you get the offensive rebound, go up strong. You're also going to get to the free throw line, which I think that we got to get to the free throw line because, we're a very good free throw shooting team.
Well, you also have to remember, too, there's an intangible that's out there. The Devils are out, and every week normally when you're playing the Blue Devils anyway, or you're playing, anybody in a conference, if you're in the Western Big Six, you get up for those games. It shouldn't take anything to get up for any game, but it does take you. So teams like the Senators who come in at 3-8 and playing good right now, Devils got a mark on their back, and the Senators and every team they play are coming out who can knock off the Devils first. And so you've got to be ready every night. And so a sluggish start every once in a while is okay, but like you mentioned at that 9-0 mark, had the Devils not hit that 3, it starts looking ugly. Obviously, you got a long game. I will never call a game in the first,
But that could have been one of those momentum changers. You know what I mean? If we miss that, they go down and dunk, and we foul them, and it's 12-0. It could have been a little bit different scenario than the 27-21. But, to be honest with you, the Blue Devils have only played good basketball for the last 4 minutes of probably the second quarter. When they went on that 12-1 run. Because, other than that, the Springfield team's giving them everything they can handle.
Indeed. We expect that. So, second half, we'll have to regroup there. So, you're in there. You're a fly on the wall. Of course, it's taking care of business. We've talked about that for 3 years.
Yep.
So, it's all the same focuses. Just like, games before the holidays, that's just 2 more games. You don't take anything out of that. The crosstown, you don't take any more out of it than just 1 more game, against – a group across town that you hope they do well too. So you already know what you have to do, and really asking the dumb questions or the obvious questions, the cliches, it's not necessary,
Well, I tell you what, I think the first 3 minutes, of the second half are going to be very, very important. If Springfield can come out and play the Blue Devils even for the first 3 minutes to half of the third quarter, that'll be – it might be a close game down the stretch. Now, the Blue Devils come out and go on a 10-0 run and go up by 16. You might stick a fork in it.
And that's what we'd like to see. Looking at Springfield in the first half, they had 6 different scorers. Of course, Sheffer only had the 3, and Kamalafi had just the 1 bucket. But they were spaced out by Noah Wade with a couple buckets. You had Cruz with 2 buckets and a free throw. We talked about the 3 by Ipson late. For 4 and 2 buckets by Wilson. So they share it and different guys score. A lot of guys are crashing, and I don't know if they're crashing the board, either you screen them or do you get the tip outs. If they're going to crash the board, tip in that direction, but then you might have chaos. Maybe just grab it and bring it up. But anytime we can get out ahead of the Senators, it's got to be a plus.
Well, and not letting them set up on the defense because they're playing a very physical man, switching up. You've got a lot of guys that are 6'3", 6'3", 6'4", so, they're switching man-to-man doesn't hurt them, when another player picks up another player.
And ready to start the second half off. Senators will have the basketball. Ralph Wires, BL3, Keyshawn Thomas, Tyler Sprick, and Camden Brown will be the set for the Devils. On defense, on the other side, down here by us is Hartman, cruises the high post. Noah Wade on the far side, handling the basketball. Jaden Wilson does a nice job of that. And my last guy, he's over there on the far side. Oh, yeah, Brody Scheffler. Ball is lost, and the Devils get it. Good job by the Devils.
Nice box out, yes.
BL3 with the ball off the right side. Lobs inside, Keyshawn Thomas. Strong move. Give BL3 the assist. Give Thomas the bucket. So, like we said, we're going to go inside, I think. It's always a good place to start. Noah Wade. He's got Brown on him over here on the left. Hands it off to Cruz. Centers with that basketball.
Camden Brown did a very good job of not fouling down there, challenging that shot.
30-second timeout.
And right away, a 30-second timeout with only playing 50 seconds in this quarter. Coach Warfield saw something there he didn't like.
He didn't like something, that's for sure.
And that's what's great about good coaches, too. They're not going to wait around until it blows up. They're going to go ahead. If I don't see something, they're going to look at it right away.
Well, it's just like the timeout that Coach Douglas called in the first quarter when it was 7-0, at the 4:05 mark or whatever it was. Great timeout. They came out after that and, started making headway.
Well, that's interesting. And we're back to action there. Springfield will have the basketball. Coming across the timeline is Wilson, setting that offense. Left side ball was knocked away. Wires did a good job. A runner, Scheffler, behind the basket. It was blocked. Thomas was trying to reach out, wasn't sure if he could get out there and get it. And it will be Senators basketball under their basket. Devils jump out of their man-to-man. Thomas is right there at the block, not letting anything get in there. Wilson at the top. He's picked up, ball goes to the right side. Short 12-footer, no good. Rebounded, Hartman. Hartman was point blank, missed it. Must be this basket down here.
Well,
here go the Devils. Thomas, the short hook, great catch and great shot, and give Loncourt the assist again.
Big fella runs the floor. You got to feed the beast.
And the Devils steal the ball right here. Feed me, Seymour, feed me. Devils with the basketball, driving baseline. He went the reverse and then picked it up. Gives it to Brown. Brown will kick it into the left corner. BL3 off the back of the iron. And there's Wires with a steal on the rebound. Wires goes up. Ralph's going to shoot. That's what you got to love there. Brody Scheffler got the rebound, made a turn, and coming from the right corner was Wires staying low. When the ball went down, he stole it. Good job, Ralph. Ralph will be on the line. It's only our third and fourth free throws. Hartman will commit his second foul. It will be the first of the second half or the first of the third quarter, however you mark it down in your book.
That's only our third and fourth free throws, but I like what I've seen here in the first minute and a half from the Blue Devils, being more aggressive, taking the ball to the hole.
I agree. Nice job out there from the Devils. Second shot is good. 1 of 2, 32-21. Devils have scored the first 5 points of the second half. Back on defense. Devils pushing the ball to the left, getting aggressive. Inside, Thomas doing a little battle inside with Valor. On the baseline, shot no good. Being tipped around, good job. Thomas tipped it off, and Sprick got it. Long pass out to Loncourt. It was right out here in front of us at the free throw line. Wires threw it down court. He'll get the assist.
Give that basket to Keyshawn Thomas, battling underneath the basket.
You got it. Loncourt with the score there. Ibsen, he had Wires on him. Sprick picks up, ball goes into the corner, and we're battling inside. Thomas is in there with Valor. Valor, Kamalafi, throwing the elbows back as he's trying to reach back and.
That's a couple of big boys in there banging.
For Keyshawn, it'll be his third foul. It'll be the Devils' first of the second half. Each team with one. Ball comes in. Ibsen fires a three. Good. Ibsen with a nice three. He had one in the second quarter. That stopped the 7-point run by the Blue Devils. Down the low block. Keyshawn couldn't get it. Valor picks it up for the Senators. Down the left side. That's Elijah Wade with his nose plate. Goes up. Good defense from Camden. Camden got it. And could have been Elijah's foul. They'll go ahead and let it go out of bounds and give it back to the Blue Devils. 5:18 left third quarter. 34-24. Devils with the lead. Keyshawn takes a break now with 3 fouls. Mark Louthan comes in. He's been doing a nice job inside.
Coach Brown's getting into his ear over there about something.
Letting maybe the physicalness of things go. High post. Camden Brown turned. Looked to shoot. Louthan was open. He did a bounce pass in there. Just skipped on him a little bit. We'll go back over to the Senators. Good idea, though, the high-low. Devils back on defense. Ralph Wires on Ibsen. Went up high, almost bounced off Wade. Valor at the high post. And Valor makes a heck of a move there on his off foot on the jump. banked it off and got Louthan to foul him. So he'll have a chance at a three-pointer.
Okay, we had a nice little spurt to, start the quarter, but, the Senators have answered our spurt.
They called that on Wires, actually. Free throw is good. I guess it must have been on the drive, the reach in. So it's 27 now. 34-27, Devils still by 7. Inside 5 minutes, third quarter action. Louthan inside to Brown. Brown had his shot blocked from the side.
Got hammered.
Yes, I thought so too, but Sprick gets the steal in the backcourt. BL3 to the corner. Brown has his shot partially blocked, but he gets his rebound, takes it up, double pump, count it! Brown got it partially blocked from the corner, very athletic move from the Senators, and he went in, double pump, got the body, got the score, and we're looking for 3.
And once again, the Blue Devils being aggressive on the offensive end of the basket, taking it to the whole heart and getting to the free throw line here in the third quarter.
Ibsen called for the foul. I don't know why the guard there tried to block the 6'5" guard forward, driving hard to the hole. Brown gets his to go in. He's 3 for 3 on the line tonight. He's got 5. 37-27. Devils back up by 10. Three-quarter court pressure. Brown's actually at the point with Longcore and Wires. Deep is Louthan. Here's Valor. And Valor did it again. Went in and Mark leaned in with his hands and then pulled him back, but he made enough contact. And Valor with the basket.
Actually, that was Cruz. Number 2.
Oh, Cruz Valor was on the other side. He's got a 2-0. Thank you, Coach. Cruz had 5 before that. Shot no good, but then Valor's in the rebound. He misses the putback, thank goodness. Longcore tried to bounce it off the 2 guys trapping him. Luckily, it got down court. Wires, whoa, that was an acrobatic move. Wires went inside and did a finger roll. Oh, really? Mark Louthan got the rebound, did a great job there. And they called him for traveling, I guess, as he pulled the ball out.
Game's getting very aggressive here, very aggressive.
I feel like I missed some points there, but my board looks fine. 37-29, 4 minutes left, third quarter action here in Springfield. Springfield with the basketball, tipped away. Wires gets it, throws it down to Brown. Brown goes in. Brown was going to go in and dunk it. Elijah Wade said, no, not in our gymnasium, but you will go to the free throw line and shoot 2.
I love it. I love it. You know, he was going up. He was going to make sure that he was going to throw it down or get fouled and go to the free throw line. So, love the good hard play by Camden Brown here in the third quarter. What's he got, 6 points in the third right now?
I've only got him down for 3.
3, okay. There's 4, and here comes 5.
I was thinking there might have been another one. I'll double check my scoring out here for you, Coach. That's 38 at least. And he is 4 for 4 on the night. 2 free throws, that's 6. Second one is good. 39-29, back to that 10-point lead the Devils team get up to. I know back in that three-quarter court. Camden Brown. We got Longcore and Wires. Deep, Louthan and Sprick. Elijah. Wade up, under, good move. Missed it, but he got his putback. That was a nice move there, Coach. 39-31. Longcore drives the lane, tries to get a bounce pass on the left side. Too hard. Bounces out of bounds back to the Senators. 3:32 left in the third and counting. Devils still putting pressure on three-quarter court with Camden Brown at the point. Goes into the middle of the court to Cruz. Valor starts to make a drive. They whistle, and I imagine they missed that on BL3. Stepping down and reaching in.
Number 12, Bradley Longcore, and that's his second at the line.
Second for Bradley.
Shooting 2.
Third in the quarter. Check that, fourth in the quarter for the Devils.
So the next one, Springfield will be shooting.
2,
right?
yes, with 3:19 left.
And looks like we could foul the big guy at the end of the game if it's a close one here.
Yeah, Valor.
That shot didn't look too good.
Kamalafi, he's got 2 free throws here. He'll have 1 more. He did hit the free throw last time with the N1. Second one rattles in and out. Louthan tracks it down for the Devils. Now some pressure here from the Senators. Ralph Wires in the backcourt. Brings it down, bounces it all the way down. Free throw line extended in the front court to Louthan. Brings it out to Dom Clay, the top. Right side BL3.
I think when they throw that ball down in the corner, Blue Devils need to dive towards the basket. I think he could have an easy layup.
Ralph picked it up a little early. Now he decides to take the long shot. Good from three.
When in doubt, let it go.
Ralph was way out there too, and he just said, look, I can't get the ball to anybody. This one's going up. 42-31, Devils by 11. Valor inside. Valor didn't have a place to go with it, turns around. You know, and Louthan's doing a heck of a job on defense.
I thought he was straight up on that one.
Well, he's coming into the body there instead of once he's there, keep it straight up, you know, and that just that little lean into him.
Well, that's what they always used to teach. You know, you lean in the bottom and keep the hands straight up here, but you kind of, you know, get into the hip action.
And you hope the official looks up. Yeah, you hope the official looks up.
Well, yeah.
Valor missed 2 in a row, but this time hit this one. Back to a 10-point game. In the lanes, Louthan and BO3 down low. Dom and Camden also in there. Ralph Wires back towards half court. And the second one is good. 2 in a row by Valor Kamalafi. And pressure in the backcourt. It was Wade. Comes into the front court. Back to the top of the key. BL3 from the top. Good from 3. And I couldn't tell you how many steps he was behind the line. All I know, he was far enough to get an extra point. 45-33, Devils by 12. Valor, the 2 number 20s inside, Valor and Louthan are working hard. At the high post now. 4 around the perimeter. Noah Wade trying to cross over on Dom. And Dom had a hand. Slapped him on the thigh. Maybe the waist. He hit him a couple times as he tried to go by him. For Dom, only his first foul tonight. You gotta love that. Now the only problem is the last 208, you really don't want to put him on for dead ball points.
Nope.
Noah Wade hit a bucket in the first and a bucket in the second. He has not shot any free throws yet tonight. Off the front of the iron on this one. Ibsen's gonna take a seat. Brody Scheffler back in for the Senators. Back half court with Cruz Jr. Second free throw is good. Noah Wade his second free throw for the Senators. He's got 5. Quickly into the set, 3-quarter court. Both teams seem to be putting pressure on. Devils get it across. BL3 into the corner. Camden Brown, good from 3. BL3 made a drive to the middle of the court. Camden set up in the left corner for the shot.
Once again, I count that as a post touch when you drive into the lane and then kick it out.
High low there. No, Camden Brown came over for help, partially blocked, and he got the rebound. In transition, BL3 on the left side. And they call an overlapping. And of course, that's a double dribble actually. Because once you pick it up and turn it over, that's a double dribble, but everybody still calls the overlapping.
I don't think he got under it.
I don't
you know,
think he
that
did.
dribble, he was on top of it the whole way, so I didn't see that call.
And luckily it was 3/4 of the court down there. We didn't have our shades, our glasses. With the drive, no, and he lost it. Good job by Wires on defense. Here comes Camden. In, count it. Camden again thinking about the dunk, and Cruz Jr. thinking about the block shot.
That should be an intentional foul because he came in from behind him and grabbed him when he was up in the air trying to dunk. I think we should have 2 free throws and the ball out of bounds.
By rule, I would agree with you. Louthan going to take a break now. Tyler Sprick back in the ball game. Camden, though, as soon as he got the steal, was ready. And Ralph is the one that created that steal right at the top of the key.
Ralph has been very disruptive on the defensive end tonight.
And that is 2 fouls now at Ibsen. 1:24 left in the quarter. Both teams, actually 4 now only on the other side.
I have a question. How many free throws have we shot? We probably tripled our free throws, haven't we?
We only had 2 in the first half. We've already shot 5, and we're 5 for 5. Did I double check that?
Those are all Camden's too, aren't they?
Yep, top of the key there. Valor tries to drive against Sprick. He's there.
Good steal.
Tried to go inside. Camden Brown tipped it away. Cruz Jr. picked it up in the left corner. 1 minute left. Oh, Noah Wade.
Foul.
Tyler needed to go ahead and take a shot on that one because Noah Wade definitely charged him. He didn't have time to get his feet set. Otherwise, he would have got it inside 1 minute. Devils throw the ball away on the side. They said it was tipped. I did not see, Coach, because I was looking at the side. The officials were talking about it. Said, hey, you got the call. Let's go with it. 53.8. Devils 51-35, up by 15. And into the backcourt. 51-36, right?
Yep.
Correct me on that when I do that. Looked right at it, too.
I can't see that.
That 6 looked like an 8.
Looked like
Fowler at the top of the key, at the high post. No good on the shot. Had a nice look there.
Well, you definitely want him shooting out the free throw line instead of down on the block.
I would agree with that. He's got strength down low. 32 seconds left and counting in the third quarter. Devils are going to try to hold it. Cameron Wires is in the game with the ball, and he has it taken away from him. But do they call the foul before or after the steal? They're going to say Scheffler took it away from him, and then Cameron Wires, just as we're saying, protect the basketball. For Wires, it's his second. That's Cameron, 1 in each half. We're in the double bonus, so we come down here as Scheffler gets to shoot 2 now. Scheffler had a 3 in the first quarter. Struggling a little bit there, although they were 2 for 4 in the first half. Second half so far. Well, they've missed 5. They missed more than they made, that's for sure. Second one is good. So Scheffler gets 1 for 2 for the Senators. 51-37, 24 seconds, counting, left in the quarter. That'd be the third. BL3 with it. Scheffler comes out to guarding. BL3 backs it out. Right wing is Dom, down on the block. Camden Brown in the high post. Sprick. BL3, and he finds Camden. Camden turns, shoots, scores. He had a man in the corner too with Wires, but Camden hits the basket. Give Loncor the assist again, and the last shot all the way down hits the glass. And what a quarter, especially for Camden Brown, as the Devils leave the third quarter leading 53-37 over the Springfield Senators. This is Blue Devil basketball on megasportsco.com.
So we outscored them what?
Almost out, Coach, we almost outscored our entire first half. We scored 26 in the third quarter. We had 27 in the first half.
You know,
so a good quarter there. And tell you what, Ralph Wires defensively, and I think the Devils overall were playing aggressive, but then it was time for Camden Brown to turn on the offense. Camden hit a 3, 2 blue-collar threes, so he had 3 trays there. There's 9, 2 more free throws, 11, and another bucket. So he had 13 unofficially in the quarter.
Well, once again, we talked about it at halftime. You know, you wanted to see the Blue Devils get more aggressive, you know, going to the basket and, you know, creating, you know, foul situations and getting some easy buckets, because let's face it, we had a lot of easy buckets, you know, with the passes that Longcore was making. He's got to have, what, 6-7 assists with the points that he scored?
Oh, at least. And then also we got Keyshawn Thomas, who got in the scoring column with a couple buckets in that third quarter.
Yep.
He ended up with a third foul and was over on the bench for a while. And he's going to start on the bench for the fourth quarter, as we've got, trying to see if both Wires were out there, not just one. Brown, Clay, Longcore, and Sprick. That's your lineup for the fourth quarter for the Devils, leading 53-37. Good ball movement.
Good patience by the Blue Devils here in the first offensive set.
Dom Clay worked it all the way in for the basket, missed the shot, and I'll tell you, Camden Brown went up straight, but he reached out as far as he could to his right and brought the ball back in. When he went back up, he got fouled.
Love it when Camden goes to the offensive glass. He's so long and active that when he gets it, puts it right back up, and now we at the free throw line again.
First foul of the fourth quarter, it goes to the Senators. Camden Brown on the line, had the shooter's touch, hit the front, hit the back, hit the board, but then went left. Exit stage left on that one. 7:35 left in the ball game. Devils, again, after being down 14-9 in the second quarter, they had that 12-point run, got up 27-21 at half, carried that 7 points in the third quarter, and that's where it was. And Camden Brown did a lot of that. He hit 1 of 2 on the free throw line. Devils will drop back into full court pressure. With a steal inside, Tyler Sprick takes it up, scores.
Sprick got the steal, threw it, went over to Cameron Wires, and then gave it back to Sprick for the bucket.
That's the first 3 points of the quarter. Inside, though, nice move there. That was Elijah Wade. Not Noah, but Noah was a pain early in the game for the Devils. 56-39, 7 minutes left. Cameron Wires to the right side. Camden Brown lobbed inside. BL3's in there. Scores on Brody Scheffler. Scheffler played some pretty good D without fouling. I was looking for the and one on that one.
Well, 6'4" versus 6'1", good post up by BL3.
Smart move and realizing the advantage. Drive to the basket. We've got a foul here. We've got Dom in there with Cameron Wires.
Foul on number 5, Cameron Wires, that's his third.
25 is Jaden Jefferson.
And Wires gets his third foul. First one of the fourth quarter, we're tied up. Thank you there. I was looking for that. We had it early in the first half. Jefferson was in. A line there at the free throw line. Pass in the backcourt. Boy, I tell you what, Dom almost might have been able to beat Jefferson to the ball. That would have been a nice one. Jefferson, crossover dribble. Dom takes the ball away. Dom bringing it to the basket. Throws it down with a little bit of a tomahawk action. Kind of a soft tomahawk on that one. Didn't draw it back, went straight up and scored. Good job, Dom. And now we've got a foul on this end. Devils were stealing the basketball. Dom was there. I think Cameron was too. It will go against Wires. Nope, check, I mean Dom Clay, excuse me. Oh, I could have swore he put a 1-4 up there. It's got to be because Wires already has 3. There it is. They're a little behind us, Coach. We got all that quickness and agility back here in the 60-plus class. Ball inbounded to Ibsen. In the right corner, Elijah. Wade passed it inside on the block. Quickly went right back out. Wade's going to bring it out with Camden Brown on him. Driven through his legs, steps back for a shot. A lot of motion, but nothing. Noah Wade, though, comes in, gets the rebound. I thought that was good D, making him take a shot like that. Not a very high percentage. Through the legs a couple times and then a step back.
Very nice challenge by the Blue Devils on that defensive set.
Devils have the basketball. Dom Clay at the point. Backs it up, spins. Whoa. He backed it up after he got bumped. He made a spin move, but then got off balance. And if they would have let that wraparound pass drop down, that would have been sweet. It was a traveling call, though. Goes over to the centers. A little full court action here coming from the Blue Devils. Camden Brown has Elijah Wade at the top of the key. It goes to Brody Scheffler. Scheffler had his hands stripped a little bit. Longcourt passes down. This time Clay tries to dunk it, and it hits the side of the rim and goes out into the right corner. But a tip out here by BL3. Thomas gets it to Dom Clay. Left side. Camden Brown, no good. Oh, almost a tip in like a Jarrell Brock. Keyshawn was right there for that. And there's a great play there. Cameron Wires tips it to the corner. Keyshawn Thomas tracks it down. In transition. Dom Clay from 23. And on the weak side, oh, a shame. Keyshawn got it, put it off the glass, but it rolled out, kicks it out, and a three-pointer by Cameron Wires. Lots of action on that transition. Boy, that was pretty.
That's to say it lightly.
Keyshawn almost went up, coming in from the right corner. The ball went off the glass. That's funny, he called that foul, and you and I had the view there. Cameron was backing off and was 3 to 4 inches off the man as he was playing defense on him. That was more of a, hey, this is going to be a look like, you know, you're getting way too close to him.
Number 5, Cameron Wires, that's his 4th.
Cameron his 4th, 3 of them in the second half. That's 3 fouls against the team in the fourth quarter. 1 still on the other side. Isaiah Talton into the ball game now. Camden Brown was leaving. He's coming back. I'm staying, folks. Devils on defense. Brody Scheffler has it on the baseline. Out to the top to Jefferson on this wing. Wow, high archer by Jefferson. I thought we got a piece of that one. Jefferson said, no, you did not. You can get it after it goes in through the net. 4:30 left in the ball game. Devils still lead by 19. Longcourt starts to drive, goes up, off the glass, and he does that. I used to do the same thing, that finger roll reverse on the left side that spins back to the basket. Of course, he does it much better, I think. I was up a little higher, though. 65-44 in the half-court D. Jefferson goes inside. Wow, Jefferson's not afraid of it. He got inside, tossed it up. He's had 5 quick points in the spare time he's got.
Well,
4 minutes left.
5'9" sophomore, so the future's looking bright for Springfield.
They do have a nice young team out there, some good ball players. Don Clay on the left side, drives up, pumps, brings it up with the finger roll, no good. Just came up a little short with it. Jefferson kind of bumps, makes it look like he knocked down Loncourt. Ball makes it down to the short corner. And Cruz Jr. with a basket there. Cruz has scored in every quarter. One basket in every one with a free throw. He's got 9. Inside, Keyshawn misses. Keyshawn gets the board, and Keyshawn puts it back. Keyshawn's so strong, and also Keyshawn quick. So once he misses that shot, he hits the floor and gets right back up. Jefferson lost the handle on it. Loncourt picked it up. Loncourt gets around traffic. Behind the back at half court. Throws up a lob. Whoa. Threw it up to Camden a little bit hard. When it hit Camden, it hit the rim. Three-pointer on the other side, no good. Fought for. Thomas got the rebound. Threw the long ball down. And what happened with the whistle over there? We have a timeout?
Yeah, I think Coach Douglas called a timeout.
While the ball was in the air.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I think he saw it wasn't going to get where it was supposed to go, so he.
Yeah, when Loncourt and both Thomas were both going for the ball, and Thomas came away and turned, Coach was like, that's it. We're going to stop the play right here, and that's okay. 3:04 left in this one. Don't forget to stick around for the post-game show. We'll break down how this game went. We'll also break down the scoring, and then we'll talk about taking a night off. Let's talk about how we're going to relax tomorrow. Now, we'll talk about a little bit about ND at Payson on Thursday, and boom, we're into the holiday tournament. Hope you got your Christmas shopping done out there, folks. If you did not, and you're looking to maybe you had a good year and you want to buy a car for someone, used or new, stop by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai. They'll be glad to help you out. Steve O'Quinn and his wife Susie just bought a CRV from Dave Pellman out there. Devils with the basketball, 3 minutes left. Leading 67-48. Loncourt against Scheffler. He keeps just working him back and forth. Scheffler. He goes in off the glass. Loncourt almost toying with him on that one as he finger rolled that ball out.
Now that was a left hand. He finger rolled the first one. That was a little left-handed, 5-foot hook shot almost.
Yeah, it's kind of in between that and the roll. So, and from a little distance, like you said, on defense, Valor. He's got Thomas on him. Nice shot there by Kamalafe.
Good defense by Keyshawn. Kept him in front, challenged the shot, but it's just better offense than the defense.
He's got a pretty good little play. Thomas inside. Thomas strong with double team. Of course, one of those double teams was Jefferson. He definitely had a height advantage on Jefferson.
Another assist for BL3.
Wow, and Ibsen puts a 3 up in each of the second, third, and fourth quarters for the Senators. 71-53, 2 minutes left. BL3 skips it over to the right side. Camden drives in. Camden, wow. I think Keyshawn was under the basket going, hey, I'm still here if you want to give it to me. And I think Camden said the same thing. I probably should have gave it to you. But once he went up, pulled it down, brought it back up, it was going back up. And that one had too much juice behind it on the spin.
Well, once again, being very aggressive, taking the ball to the hole. That's where Camden is at his best, I think.
Yeah, that surprises me there, Coach, that Valor Kamalafi, that was his first foul. He's a physical guy inside.
He's been banging all night.
Camden hits the first free throw. He'll have another one. Camden on the night, he was 2 for 2 in the first half. Third quarter, he was 4 for 4, so that made 6 for 6. And he's 2 for 3 now, so 8 for 9 so far in the game, unofficially. And now bounces off the side. I would have had him at 9 for 10 inside 2 minutes.
8 for 10 is not too bad.
Not bad at all. We'll take that every day. Valor kicks it out here in the corner in front of us. Ibsen's already got 1 3 in each quarter. He doesn't need another one. Isaiah Talton did a good job of playing defense on him. Valor starts to run in. That would have been one to take a charge, but he was getting up there high with the knee when Valor missed the shot. Talton, right side to Brown. Camden will skip it over. BL3 will set.
Bring it out, work the clock.
They do a fake screen there. Release was Thomas. Thomas went all the way into the basket. Good job there. Thomas released to an open spot. And the nice pass inside.
Now, would you give that assist to BL3?
I would give that assist to BL3. And a long 3 by Jefferson. You may say it was a little shuffle, but had he not made the pass to put him in that position for the score.
Yep.
Down to 1 minute. Well, the Devils looked a little sluggish in the first quarter, but the Senators looked pretty good. They came out on fire, and BL3, the fans were excited about that because they just schooled their man. He missed the shot, but Isaiah Talton was right there to put it back in. Yeah, we just wear them down. Inside, Valor. Brown did a good job of defense on that one. For Camden, it'll only be a second foul of the ball game, 1 in each half. Should be the 4th for the team. And Valor will go to the line to shoot. Valor was 3 out of 5 in the third quarter from the charity stripe. 2 of those were 2 misses in a row. He'll have 2 here. He's got 7 points. He's worked hard. First one bounces off the left side. On the left side block down here is Isaiah Talton. Across from him is Keyshawn Thomas. BL3 and Clay. Look at this line. It's a big lineup here. And then Brown. Oh, yeah. You don't have either wires in there, so you don't have, Second free throw is good. Valor 1 of 2. I'd like to keep this at 20, although I don't know if we'll get another shot or not unless we get fouled. 76-57. BL3 with Jefferson. Came off his foot. Just one extra dribble there. Valor down to Ibsen now. Ibsen. And I had my foot on that one. How about that, Coach? It was coming right for me. I had it, but it was a roller. 26.2. Devils going to go to 11-0. Of course, non-conference game. They'll stay at 4-0 till after Christmas. Down to 18 and counting. Clay has it off the left side. Starts to work against his man. Into the left corner, BL3. BL3 got down within 6 feet. Clay looked like he was going to shoot a 3, but he won't. So we'll probably be stuck on 76 unless we get a foul here. Nice job by the Devils. Started off a little slow here, but the Devils will win. There's the final buzzer. So the final on the road, last game before Christmas, which will give the Devils an 11-0 record. 76-57 over the Senators, who will now fall to 3-9, but a pretty good 3-9 team. And they're going to have some fun later on in the season. I think, may surprise some teams. Well,
it's they have a lot of 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" kids that, are athletic, long. It looks like they're starting to play a little bit better, starting to gel. So they'll give some teams some trouble down the road, I think.
Well, Coach, that was a fun one here. We got Mike Bowen and Jim McGinn coming down to check us out. It was a little sluggish. Mike was kind of like, but we got the W. That was the key out there. There you go. And, guys, you guys have a Merry Christmas. Always love when our fans are out there. And, of course, the parents are up here as well. We see, I see Claire Louthan up there, now a college student. It's Mark's older sister, a very good singer, and sang a couple times, I believe, along with the Green Girl there at the Blue Devil Gymnasium for the national anthem. They were fantastic. Hey, let's go ahead and break this one down, how it started off and how it ended. Devils came in undefeated. They will leave undefeated. How about that one? We'll get rid of the any thrill, anticipation, or anything that you might have, or suspense. First 9 points, though, Springfield would put up on the board, and it looked a little scary. Not that scary, but it was a little different than the Devils are used to. Devils got a 3-pointer from Bradley Loncourt then. Traded baskets back and forth. It was a 14-9 score. At the end of one, Springfield had the lead. And there's Mr. Elby there. And so after that, it was Springfield. Second quarter started off, back and forth, 20-15. Springfield had the lead after that. That's when the Devils, with that 20-15 deficit, put up 12 straight points and took the lead 27-20. So at halftime, after one more free throw by the Senators, it's 27-21, back in the lead. Devils do just what you expect, what any team would like to do, starting a quarter off, or in this case, the second half, put the first 7 points up, and then build a 13-point lead up, and now each possession, take care of the basketball, get back on defense, and that's what they did. Third quarter, they would be leading 53-27, and they would go on to win 76-57 by 19 to go 11-0 now, and like we mentioned, Springfield 3-8.
I think you had, a couple of spurts. The last 4 minutes of the first half when they were down 20-15 and they went on that 12-0 run. And then, we talked about it at halftime, that the, first 3 minutes of the third quarter, and they came out first 3 minutes of the third quarter, took it from 27 up to, 34, 21, and 13. And from that point on, I think they might have got it down to 10 maybe once or twice. But other than that, it had been up into the, low 20s, high teens, and that's where we ended up at the end of the game at 19. So I think the two spurts, at the end of the second half and then coming out in the third quarter, that 8 minutes, 7-8 minutes of time right there, pushed the Blue Devils over the edge tonight.
And a nice job. And we won't have any more Blue Devil games until we get to next Wednesday, as we have Oakville, Missouri, 2:30 at Collinsville. It's the last game of the first session. So if you're getting out there and going to check it all out, you'll know when to get down, and get down a little early. A lot of good basketball going on down there.
Oh, that's going to be a heck of a tournament down there, because you think there's probably, along with Quincy, Collinsville, I think, is 9-0 or 10-0.
10-0 last time I saw.
And, Decatur, MacArthur. I mean, there's 4 or 5 teams down there that can win this tournament.
Yeah, just a second, Coach. I can do some adding here. I'm pretty good at, multitasking, but doing that and trying to figure this one out, especially when one guy's made a lot of threes and the other guy's made a lot of twos. Free throws, as Camden Brown did tonight. He did a nice job out there when he got to the free throw line. Actually, in that third quarter, Camden Brown not only free throws, but he hit his 3, and then he had those 2 and 1s, and the and 1 is getting fouled, get your basket, and then making the free throw to follow. So that was a pretty good third quarter for him, and he was good game all the way, but that was really aggressive.
Yeah, well, Camden, third quarter, he came out, and I talked about it at halftime. Wanted to see them, take the ball to the hole more, get to the free throw line. The Blue Devils, as well as they shoot free throws as a team, that's a major plus for them. Plus getting the other team into foul trouble too. So, I think they can do a lot of different things, and they did a lot of different things tonight.
And I'm almost done here for the scoring for those people out there. I just found Mark Laughlin's 2 points that were going to be the ones that were going to drive me nuts, trying to figure out where the scoring was. I tell you, for the Senators, that first half they had, 6 guys scoring, but it was 2 points here, 2 points there. Second half, I tell you, Valor in that third quarter, Kamalafi, he did a heck of a job. And then Jaden Jefferson, late in the ball game, came in and scored 7. He didn't get a lot of playing time, but I thought he did a nice job with aggressive. You're going to see him later in the season playing a lot more time.
Well, he definitely tonight earned some more playing time, along with I love Noah Wade, the freshman, 6'3", very active. Cruz was very active. Wilson was very active. And Komalafi, he was a load.
Indeed he was. What year is he? I forget what we said Komalafi was.
Junior.
All right, so we'll see him again over at Blue Devil Gymnasium. Well, let's break down the scoring. Here's the way it looked. First for the Senators, who fall to 3-9. Remember, I had 3-7, but we had that Lanphier game that we got. So sorry about there, Senators. 3-9 right now. You got an extra vote, and you didn't want it on there. They were led in scoring. They had 2 guys with 10 points. Of course, Valor Komalafi with a third quarter that was strong. Even though he only scored 5 points, he was at the free throw line for 5 shots as well. He got 7 free throws. He was 4 for 7 in the second half. 10 points also by Seth Ibsen. That's the 3-pointers in the second, third, and fourth quarter. 9 points from Kevin Cruz Jr. 9 points also from Noah Wade. He was really a thorn early in the ball game. Seemed to be everywhere. Really been aggressive on the boards as well. Jaden Jefferson had 7 points late in the game, and then we got 3 sets of 4. So if you got 3 of a kind, it was Jaden Wilson for 4, Elijah Wade for 4, and Brody Scheffler for 4, and that equals 57 for the Senators. For the Blue Devils, I had to think now we're 11-0. I actually put 11-0 up here, but it was actually, I usually have my records before the game, so that throws me off sometimes. Leading the way, wow, I didn't realize he had this many points. 27 points for BL3. Of course, when you hit 5 threes from outside, that adds up real quick.
Well, and with those 27 points, you got to figure he had to have at least 6 or 7 assists, and there were several of them that he passed it and missed the layups. He could have probably 10, 12 assists.
That's what, we don't mind a double-double or a triple-double.
Yeah.
You go out and get them. Camden Brown with a great third quarter as far as scoring for the Devils. He had 17. 10 points from Keyshawn Thomas, all in the second half. As we mentioned at halftime, we were amazed that Keyshawn did not have a point, and Camden Brown only had 2, and it was both from the free throw line. Dropped down to 7 points out of Dom Clay. He hit a 3 in the second quarter. And then we got 4 points from Tyler Sprick, 4 points from Ralph Wires, 3 Cameron Wires late in the fourth quarter, and then also a deuce from Mark Louthan, and also 2 from Isaiah Talton. And that rounds out your scoring. Of course, Cameron Wires, yeah, there he was. He did score tonight. Every once in a while, I got to fire him back in there because he'll have a great game and not score. But that will equal 76 for the Devils. And the big W, if you got a Cub flag, you can go ahead and wave those during the offseason, during the winter. Get that flag out and start using it for the Blue Devils. It is blue, and we'll accept that. Right, Coach?
I guess.
From the Cardinal fan, but he's also a baseball fan, so he will, we all admit, I got to admit the Cardinals fan, the Cardinal organization is quite the organization, and they've had a great run. So how can I not say that? I mean, they got more rings than us. No, I did not, because I didn't know if you were going to be here. So as we checked on that, I need to just keep those with us all the time so we can pull up somebody from the stands. We never know when Bash is going to want to be the other color guy, and he did make it to the gym tonight, my grandson. He wanted to come out. He gave some high fives to the Blue Devils when they were over before the game, but then it was a little past, not so much his bedtime, but I think he had a long day and was getting a little grumpy, and so Mama took him home. So it's okay, Bash. You're only 4. There'll be a lot of basketball ahead. So, and speaking ahead for us, Mecca Sports, it'll be Thursday night, Notre Dame at Payson Seymour up on the stage. Got to love that. Tyler Dushinsky, the coach up at Payson Seymour, and Coach Longo and I had a good time there 2 years ago. No, it was last year. No, it was 2 years ago. That's right. I had to think what year because they're back up there again, and we don't play them home and home. So I have to check if Coach Longo wants to make a trip before he goes down to the beaches, because that's where he's heading as soon as Christmas is over. He'll be able to listen to us while he's sitting down there with his lemonade or whatever he might be drinking there on the beach. And he had a fun year this year, getting back to coaching with the Blue Devil soccer team on their 50th anniversary, as they highlighted that through the year. I mean, the record wasn't that good this year, but it wasn't about that. It was about the pride of every year of the Quincy High Blue Devils and their soccer, and you're going to have a lot of good years. And to bring back 50 years of kids throughout the season at different times was memorable. And Dick Stewart came back, as well as Mario Camacho, and that's 2 of your early coaches. Even Al Nepler, who came over for, I can't remember how many seasons he came over. But when you start thinking back to Mario Camacho, the guy who started everything off there, and then Dick Stewart was there for a lot of years there, of course.
Well, I remember watching the Camacho brothers playing for Quincy College at the time. I mean, you had, Edmundo, Mario, Hector. I mean, you had like 3 or 4 of them that came up from the St. Louis area, and, Bick and, Delabar, and that whole group. Those were fun teams to watch.
Hallahan, Emilio John, yes, and of course it was played there at the stadium, Q Stadium. And and other teams did not want to go get the soccer ball once it got past the sidelines in there, because it was 10, 12 deep of people all around there. And if it was a muddy day, watch out. And, of course, many national titles there. It was always fun. Of course, you mentioned Delabar, and he's been coaching down in St. Louis for a long time. And
that was my dad's favorite player. We used to go stand down there behind the goal, and I remember a couple times where he got in some people's faces when they were doing those penalty kicks and all that stuff, and moving the other guys' teams out of the way.
He was a threat just to look at him, because he had long hair, had a beard that all went together. And, of course, his brother was at Culver Stockton as a teak. He was my grandfather in the teak house. Steve Altmix is my dad. And Jack Delabar, who worked at Budweiser, was my grandfather. So it was always funny, because I said in talking to him, he couldn't figure out how me and Jeff Marquardt could go over, and he would answer the door for him and Tim Weber. Tim was the other player. And yet when him and Tom Ernst and those guys would come over, they wouldn't answer the door. I said, well, we had a little more clout there, and so, but it was fun right there next to Padua Hall on, what is that, Lynn Street right there? No, that's the next street over, Elm Street. There you go. Well, as we wait here, sometimes you got to take the fill, folks. We talk about what's going on. We're waiting for Coach to come down so we can get a breakdown on this game and wrap it up for the Blue Devils until the holidays. So they'll be getting ready to take some time off, take it easy, see the family, while still working out and getting ready. I mean, we're not, again, you don't take much time off, even in the holidays, when you're playing on a team, or you're involved with something. That can be anything. In this case, watching the young kids out there, the future Senators. But, yes, they'll get a little time off there. And injury-wise, knock on wood, we haven't really seen any injuries. They've been lingering. We talked the other night when Keyshawn went over there by the Blue Devil bench And you've got a cord that keeps you here,
Yeah,
Coach. Coach was
I
wanting
saw
to
the basketball.
He wanted to get the basketball, and he was thinking about shooting. And as soon as he went out there, realized he'll pull everything with him.
Whoops.
You know, and here coming down here, if you keep an eye out here, is Jada Brown. Jada, of course, for the Quincy High Blue Devil girls. She's having a good season. I'd ask her who's the better player of the two. Of course, Camden is a stud of a player, so. And we had some of our Blue Devil fans came by with stellar reffing. And, you know, really quite honestly, Coach, we've seen some good games where, you know, it's been physical and sometimes it's been a little bit too physical. Tonight, I really thought the game was decent called. I mean, I didn't, you know, we if we scratched our head any time, it's just because we weren't paying attention maybe or didn't understand something, maybe a reach in on a drive. But overall, when you're going to play at this level, and we'll call it double A because that's really, you know, it's an A, double A type situation. You know, the double A, of course, was, you know, the big schools, and the A schools were all your rural country schools. Nothing wrong with that. And your Notre Dame back in the day. But, no, I really thought the teams played well. I thought the Senators have got a lot of potential here. And so it'll be fun to watch them over the next couple of years and watch them into their new gym. If you didn't hear us early in the broadcast, the Senators are building a new gym. It's going to be to the east of the high school towards the Capitol. So if you're familiar with Springfield, you know, you're facing north. It goes the other direction on your right hand. And Lanphier is just wrapping up theirs, and it's been a process where I was talking to the AD, Brian Barnes, before the ball game, and he had mentioned it was supposed to be due, you know, and everything's always delayed, you know that. And it was supposed to be done, I think, last year, and so they're anticipating next year on there. So we expect, you know, maybe in a couple years that we'll be here at the Springfield. And then once they start tearing down, as he mentioned, you start worrying about stuff that you find in a building that's this old, you know, and what's going to happen, and what kind of delays in cleanup is going to happen, because once you get into that stuff these days, whether it's OSHA or any of the different organizations, they're going to put some restrictions on you out there. So, you know, to make sure it's cleaned up properly. And so, but this is not a bad looking gym, as you guys are still watching it here, as we're waiting. Coach is coming up here in a second. You'll see him walk across the screen as we get ready on a school night. And I think, is there only one more day of school this week? So, in fact, I'll have to double check with Coach on that one. Coach Pettit makes the exchange. Coach, good victory there, and we were just talking about school. Are we out already, or are we one more day?
No, we have some of our guys are, but we have a couple finals left tomorrow. So
there we go. And we always like to get it there on a school night. We like to get back as fast as possible, but everybody's really in Christmas mode. Boy, I tell you what, it wasn't really a surprise first quarter. Everybody's going to come after us. Senators got real aggressive in that first quarter. Of course, last year they were leading by 14-10. This year 14-9, so nothing new there. But a lot of our shots just rolled out in that early in the game.
Yeah, this is it's a tough place to play. You know, I didn't tell our guys this because you don't want them thinking about it, but you would have thought I did. Other than Brad in the first half, shots weren't really dropping a ton, and you know the lighting in here is a little different than we ever see playing at any other gym, and I liken it a little bit to UT, although we've had really good luck at UT as well. But no, it was a tough start. But I give our guys a lot of credit for being able to battle back. More so the end of the first half, where we were able to get some stops and get out and run a little bit, and then, you know, playing tough-nosed defense, and then mainly working the ball into the middle against their defense, and you know, being in attack mode. And that was the biggest difference between the first half and the second half is we caught the ball in the middle a few times, but we were just a little too soft with it. You know, we weren't looking to make a play at the basket. Keyshawn was, you know, wide open at times. Mark was wide open at times, and we just played a little too, you know, tentative.
And if they did do a good job, like Keyshawn one time gave a head fake to his guy and got rid of him, he forgot there was a guy to the side of him down here on this one and got him. But with the last 12 points of the first half, other than that free throw for the Senators, was the key there. And then, like we talk about, you start your second quarter, any quarter, but the third quarter off with that quick 7 or 9 points. And that was the thing that once we got ahead there and cranked it up, and I don't think they had an answer out there. And you went inside right away. Keyshawn and Camden took over the third quarter, especially Camden did a heck of a job in that third quarter.
Yeah, you know, and again, it took us getting to the spot, number one. We tried to play two front, you know, against them in the first half, and again, just weren't as aggressive as we needed to be. And second half, we took advantage of touches inside. Camden wanted to play the middle. We asked, hey, who's going to play tough? Who wants to play the middle? And he jumped at it, and he made some plays. And guys knocked down shots, but it comes off of, you know, making the defense collapse, which we did a pretty good job of.
Oh, and Ralph did a good job out there on defense as well. And then
Absolutely.
one lineup there, we didn't have either wires in, and it was a taller lineup. Sprick wasn't even in there as well. So, but I thought they did a good job out there. Darn, I just forgot my other question there that I just had for you there. And speaking of the lighting here, too, at least you didn't pull a Scott Douglas. Nauvoo always had dark lighting, so he thought, I'm going to go to the CYO, it's darker lighting. And then once they got to Nauvoo, they had changed their lights out that year, and they were as bright as can be. So do we get a couple days off, or are you just going to do some shooting and soft stuff?
Yeah, we'll get tomorrow off for sure. I mean, this has been a brutal stretch of games, and playing a lot of Tuesday, Friday, Saturdays is not an easy thing to do, and preparation for those Tuesday, Friday, Saturday is not easy either. So they'll get tomorrow off. Thursday we'll have a light practice, a lot of shooting, and get them in for an hour or so, and and then get back to what we need to do, prior to Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
I remember my question right now here, too. Would you believe, and this is why I couldn't believe I forgot the question, if I told you that I thought Bradley Loncourt had a silent 27 tonight? I mean, because it didn't. I mean, other than the threes in that, he was smooth with his shots.
Yeah.
You just didn't really jump out and put exclamation points out there. And when I was figuring it out, I said, 27. I go, well, when you have 5 of them as three-pointers, you get there a little faster.
Well, yeah, and it wasn't so quiet in the first half. It was loud in the first half. He made some huge plays to keep us afloat, and then made some plays in the second half as well. But he played a phenomenal game tonight.
Yeah, he could have as many silent 27s as he wants, as far as I'm concerned.
Right,
so.
right.
And maybe that was the wrong word because he was keeping us in early, but it just seemed like I don't think he scored that many points.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like the bus is ready to go, and you got to get back. So congratulations, Merry Christmas to you and your
Merry
family.
Christmas to you guys as well.
And
Appreciate it.
all the Blue Devil fans as well. So thank you, Coach.
Hey, thank you guys. Safe travels.
And that's Coach Kevin Douglas. I talked to Kevin the other night, and Kevin gets into the broadcast now. Andy Douglas, and of course his comments are brought to you by Cunis Honda and Cunis Hyundai. As we mentioned earlier, not only faith, family, giving back, but also if you're looking for something for your loved one or anybody, you don't have to like them even. I mean, they'll like you if you get them a car, new or used, right, Coach?
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry about that. I had Coach down a little low on that one there. So, Coach, final thoughts on the game tonight?
Well, I think Coach said it right. At halftime I said, we need to get to the basket, and, we shot, maybe 10 or how many free throws we shoot in the second half? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, we made 7,
6,
Coach.
7, 8, 9, 10. 10 free throws in the second half versus 2 in the first half. When we're active and taking the ball to the hole. And we didn't finish so well in the second half either. We had probably another, 3 or 4 layups that, no fouls, and we missed them. So, if we clean up, finishing, a little bit better, this could have been a 30, 35-point game easy, if we make 3/4 of our layups.
And it's always great when you can come back from being down and get a big victory out here by 29 points. Yes, it was 29. I was kept pushing for that 30. Well, I'll tell you what, Coach, you and yours have a very Merry Christmas, since I will not see you on Thursday for the
it's only 19 points.
Yeah, that's exactly. So I said I keep looking for that 20 points. I was going for 30, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I'm trying to add up as many as I can, extra Christmas presents under the tree. But you and yours have a great Merry Christmas.
Yep,
I
you
will
too.
pass it along to our listeners there on Thursday night, as we have the Notre Dame at Payson on Thursday night. So join us there. I believe that's a 7:30. Don't quote me on that, though. Check our website, as you always can, meccasportsco.com, and make sure you subscribe, like, and ring the bell. So, with that, the final here from the Senators' home in Springfield, our capital in Illinois. It was the Quincy High Blue Devils 76, and it was the Springfield Senators 57. Devils are now 11-0. Senators fall to 3-9. For Dave Pettit, I'm Jeff Wellman. Good night, everyone.